My name is Dan Ogden, and this is a video response to several postings that I've recently read on the internet, on YouTube specifically. So what you can do is, in a somewhat familiar style, look at that username, then back to me, now back at that username, now back to me. I'm a real person. I've been in the recruiting field for 17 years, I guess 93. And on the morning of September 11th, I was in Jersey City on the Exchange Place waterfront. Our offices at that time for the company I worked for, which was Response, or the Response Companies as they were known, were at 66 York Street. And I and a number of my coworkers were in the office when we had heard that there was a fire in the World Trade Center, was how we heard about it. Somebody's husband had called in and said that there was a plane crash at the World Trade Center. So at that point, not knowing anything, we thought maybe it was a Cessna or something to that effect. We walked downstairs and looked at the river from 66 York Street. Now, I'm going to suggest you MapQuest this or Google Map it or whatever, just to give you an idea of the line of sight. So we looked down, we saw the fire. We could see clearly from that distance, and again, those of you who have actually been to Jersey City will know just how clear and how close it really is. We could see lines of orange and obviously the tremendous amount of smoke. But from that vantage point, we could not see the impact face with any clarity. Maybe just in the same way that you'd be looking at my hand here. You know, you can't really see my palm, even if I tilt it this way. That's roughly where we were looking from. So we were supposed to have an activity meeting that morning. It was a Tuesday. We normally had a weekly Tuesday activity meeting. And so we said, well, if we're going to watch this thing, let's go watch this thing. If we're going to blow off the meeting, let's go actually take a look at this. And so we walked the 1.5 blocks to the waterfront, and we were all standing up against the rail watching this, just in some level of amazement. And I can't tell you the precise moment that I saw the second plane, but I could clearly see it from below Manhattan approaching. And there were one or two comments. You know, I just heard crowd noise, like another plane. You know, I couldn't, again, replay precisely everything that I heard in that second. But when I saw the plane, it looked to me as though it were trying to come in. If the smoke was going up like this, it looked like it was trying to come in under the smoke line. And in the amount of time that I saw it, and I had a reasonable amount of time to see it, but it wasn't anything that I could measure with a stopwatch. Perhaps it was 1 or 2 seconds, but it was likely 1 or 2 full seconds. It banked. It went like this. Now, looking at the plane from that angle, you can't really, it's hard to gauge height, so I don't know. I'd love to be able to tell you, oh, it dive bombed, or it came in straight, or whatever. I don't have that frame of reference. I was looking at the plane, not at the things around it, and not trying to gauge, what altitude it might be at. I did, it was coming in below the smoke line, and from that angle, depth perception for me was a little wonky, I guess, and I thought it was going to go around the back of the building. It's difficult to tell, looking at it in my mind's eye, was the plane, closer or further away than the World Trade Center towers. And then it crashed. In the second that it crashed, and it obviously wasn't instantaneous, but the only way that I can describe the sound is for those of you that know the Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner. It sounded, I guess it was and I don't know if it was the jet engine or the explosion, but it sounded sort of like the rocket sounds that Jimi Hendrix made in his Star Spangled Banner performance of Woodstock. Not precisely, but that was what stayed etched in my mind. I saw clearly the explosion through the other side of the building, or something shoot out from the other side of the building. As to, how I mean, there wasn't a lot of room there, but and as far as in between the buildings for what you could see, but I saw enough to see that something had shot through the building to the other side. And there's no doubt in my mind that what I saw was a passenger plane, just as surely as if you look up in the sky for a second and you see a plane, you know that it's a plane. Well, I knew that it was a plane. There's zero doubt in my mind. I haven't seen any videos that show anything that was inconsistent with what I saw. The videos from the south seem to jibe with what I've seen. The videos from the north seem to jibe with what I've seen, and the videos from the east seem to jibe with what I've seen. But there's actually very little from the west. I think I saw one video that might have been taken from pretty far inland into Jersey. I don't know that it was in Jersey City. I'm inclined to think it was, I thought, possibly Union City, which is not only further inland but also further uptown, whereas the Exchange Place area of Jersey City is the shortest point between the World Trade Center and New Jersey. You know, I saw what I saw, and I am hoping that I'm not the only person who witnessed the plane crash, either one, on September 11th. And I'm encouraging those of you who have to reply to this video with a video of your own, because there are a great many people out there who are saying that nobody who witnessed this will come forward. I disagree. I'm one person. And hopefully I can inspire some of you guys to come forward as well. If you witnessed in person, not on video, if you witnessed either of the two plane crashes from September 11th, please consider leaving a YouTube video response. That's all I've got. Thank you very much, and good night, Internet.